And we're on to game number 2 in this best of 3 series between Liquid Zenio, our red Zerg player down here in the bottom left side of Cloud Kingdom, and his opponent, and the guy who just coincidentally won last game is going to be our Terran player, Dignitas SeleCT, in the blue at the top. So this is another new ladder map, and I particularly myself enjoy it quite a bit. I think it's a pretty good map. I've had a lot of good games on it, so hopefully today we'll see a good game here between our two players. Last game we saw Zenio play pretty aggressive, and from what I recall, Zenio has a pretty aggressive style. He's like a less insane July Zerg, if that makes any sense to anybody. A less insane July Zerg, but yeah, he tried to put on some pressure, but SeleCT was so ready for it. He had the tanks in a nice position, and I mean, I think the story of that last game was how many tanks got to like 10 life and managed to live. It was just insane, like how many times Zenio went in there, kills, like did so much damage, and then the tank survives. I mean, if you watch the highlights, there's like twice where during the first attack, mutas go in and almost kill the tank, but SeleCT comes in with like 5 SCVs and clutch repairs. And then at the very end, he goes up and he's doing the final push of the 4th base, and there's like 3 tanks at the very end of that fight. He kills 1, but 3 tanks are still left alive with like 20 life each. It was just ridiculous how those tanks had like 9 lives, it seemed like, that game. So Zenio came down here checking the bottom area just to make sure there is no extra barracks being placed, and he's harassing this SCV for a little bit. Another SCV shows up, and 2 beats 1. That drone is forced to fall back. Maybe take a gas. Yep, take the gas. Why not? So, I'm not really sure if SeleCT was planning on taking that gas anytime soon, but he's probably going to start sending some Marines. He's sending them across the map to the front here. That's an interesting location to rally those SCVs, or those Marines. So he cancels that. He wants to come up here to the front to check what's going on. Okay, he sees the factory. That's exactly what Zenio was looking for. And he's going to come up here and harass us once again. He's going to lose the drone, but the drone was worth its weight in whatever drones are made of. So he sees the factory. He's pretty sure there's going to be reactor Hellions coming out again this game. Maybe he'll be a little bit more prepared for it. Throw up a spine crawler, and maybe have 2 queens out down here at the front, or he might just go for a quick roach warren, get like 3 or 4 roaches, and then decide to go for some attack with roaches last game instead of the Zargling and Baneling Muta. 2 Marines, and this is something that it seemed like during the beta and early in Starcraft, Terran players did this a lot. They scouted for overlords, because I don't think Zerg players were that ready or that weren't that aware of this. But I mean, SeleCT is just, seems like he always does this. And is he going to catch another overlord? Oh, there's it is. He can see it. He sees it. Oh my God, SeleCT with the Bloodhound knows for the overlords. 2 for 2. SeleCT getting free overlord kills, and this is actually going to supply block him. There it goes. 32 out of 28. And Zenio's going to be supply blocked here for a little bit. Unfortunately, just like, man, I just love that play from SeleCT, just taking the 2. He knows where the overlords are going to go. He's like, all right, I know the overlord's going to be around here in this position. I'm going to send my Marines over there. I'm going to check everywhere. And unless he's playing super safe, I'm going to get me an overlord kill. And, I mean, it works, guys. Just 2 for 2. It's just, I've never seen that. Like, it's been so long since I've seen an overlord get picked off by Marines. And to see it 2 games in a row is just kind of blows my mind already. I don't know what else to say. So here we got 1 spine crawler, second one on the way, 2 queens down here at the front. I like this. Zenio a little bit more prepared for the Hellions. Now, so it seems like SeleCT is doing the exact same build. If it works once, do it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wait. Yes, exactly. I thought I said that wrong there for a second. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So SeleCT, it seems like he's going to do the exact same build he did last game, and a Roach Warren, so Zenio is not doing the exact same build he did last game. But I like the Roach Warren better. I like the Roaches with the more upgrade-centric, and then kind of slowly add on Infestors. I think that's a better play. You can be a little bit more aggressive versus Hellions. You can get map control and delay that third longer, as opposed to last game where we saw SeleCT be the aggressor, and we saw SeleCT get his third up before Zenio did. So I like the idea to go Roaches this game, especially considering Select's entire mode for map control revolves around Hellions, and everyone knows Roaches are way better than Hellions. At least 1v1. Here we have some Hellions going to try and make it up the ramp, but they get it there. No, Queens were doing their best to be bouncers, but it doesn't matter that he's going to suicide some Hellions, take out some drones, lining them up. He just got like 6 of them right there, and another one back here that just popped. Gas guys just go down, but unfortunately he doesn't have that many drones left. These Roaches showing up a little bit too late. A little bit too late to the party. Oh man, unfortunately Zenio taking a pretty decent hit there. 41 versus 33. Select ended up losing, what was that, 4? Yeah, losing 4 Hellions for about 6 drones. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent trade. So Roaches are on the way, not to mention Roaches aren't going to be too terribly effective, or sorry, Hellions aren't going to be too terribly effective versus these Roaches heading out across the map. Bunker is going to go up to Engineering Base at the front, and Select will be fine and dandy as soon as he gets his bunker up. He's got a tank on the high ground, and oh man, that tank is just going to rain hell on top of these Roaches. Those Roaches are going to be forced to back up just a little bit. The vision, look at that tank range. This is insane. There's no way he's going to get anything up there. Now is the time when he's wishing he had an Overlord about right over here. He could just push up and just walk up and snap that tank. That's something he was wishing he had right there. That SCV was just back and forth, back and forth. Must go back and forth, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, repair, repair, repair. It's just quite funny there. So third is going to go up here for Zenio. Zenio's going to get his third up. So I like the idea to go through Roaches, like I was saying earlier. He gets his third up a little bit sooner. Doesn't have to, you know, deal with those Hellions for so terribly long with the Zerglings. And but Select is getting his 1-1 upgrade again, and I mean, his third is floating over there. So this third is actually, this is pretty much the exact same timings we saw last game, where Select landed his third at about the same time Zenio's was about halfway finished. So even still, he's getting this command center out, and this is only due to the fact the Roaches aren't applying pressure. If those Roaches were just sitting here, this would not be here. There is no way he can take this third if Zenio is actually applying pressure over there. I mean, 5, 6 Marines and 2 Hellions versus 7 Roaches. That doesn't work at all. So this is just Zenio being over defensive, I think, and Select just being very greedy, and it's paying off for Select this game. There's no reason he should have this base now, considering the army that Zenio has. So unfortunately for Zenio, Select is just kind of being as greedy as possible. One Roach does show up, but it's too late now. The tank is sieged up. He's working on a wall off here, and I mean, what is Zenio going to do now? He's like, oh man, there's a base over there. How'd I let that happen? I should go do something about that. But a tank is pushed forward a little bit, and that's a really good position with these tanks. I love the tank's position. He has like one tank, and he makes it so cost effective. Look at that, one tank over there, one tank over here, really nice position. He's got it so it's like the exact vision as far as it can see. Really nice there. I like those. Just so few tanks. He's just being as extremely cost effective with these tanks in nice position. So I just love the Sim City and the just the positioning of those tanks. So, but Zenio on the other hand has a lot of creep tumors. You can't deny how many creep tumors he's got this game, and he's just got creep tumors all over the place. Look at this. He's just like 5 down here, 5, 6, 7 up here, active ones. Just doing pretty good. Trying to get his macro lead once again, throwing down this 4th hatchery. Actually, his 4th expansion, he's got another hatchery here in his main, getting that macro going. He's working on 2-2 for his Zerglings and Zergling armor. Hellions over here, checking out the left side of the map. Now, we've got the sensor tower up, and a pretty sick location. Now that I notice it, I mean, he can see this whole attack area, stuff coming from up here. He can see anything coming through this pathway here, because he'll have to go through this location, and he sees everything coming through here and down here. So this is a pretty sick location for a sensor tower. The only thing he doesn't see would be any mutas that would manage to fly over here in the right side of the map. So this is the only weak spot in his defense, but he saw the Roaches, so he isn't too terribly worried about mutas at this point anyway. Not to mention the fact he doesn't have any missile turrets, and if he was expecting mutas, there would be missile turrets here. So Infestor's out for Zenio. Drones doing some long distance mining until that hatchery finishes. Layer's upgrading into Hive, And we've got Spore Crawler going to go up. He's worried about some drops and a Spine Crawler in the main. So another Spine Crawler here at the expansion. So already setting up some static defense to deal with Marine drops. Queens, just look at this. Just Zenio, some amazing creep tumors spreading this game. I really love the extra creep tumors from the Queens. And Zenio working on taking out these rocks. This is something every Zerg player should do. Taking out rocks is like the #1 job you need to do on this map. Rocks, no good. I mean, in what situation is this good to have rocks? Only if you're playing defensive and you got like, I don't know, you're playing super defensive. But at the same time, we got to drop down here in the bottom left. Marines are going to try and take out the Spine Crawler, and they can drop so fast to those 2-2 Marines. Nope, just 1-1. 2-2 so close to being done, but he's going to drop here from the high ground. This is such an annoying spot to deal with. But he loses the medevac that had so many Marines in it. Oh no, going so badly for Select, and another Spore Crawler being put up there. So I like the positioning of these Spore Crawlers right here. That's something annoying that Terran players do. They'll just drop here and they'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm drop up here and still shoot your expansion and go harass your main. This is just such an annoying location to deal with as a Zerg player versus Terran drop. So, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I mean, this is not good for Zerg. Zerg want open giant areas, and the only real reason you'd want to be blocked off there is if you had like infestors and you were playing super defensive because you were way behind. That's really the only thing I could imagine there. And I love this position that Select's in right now. He's got the Zelnaga Tower, which gives him amazing vision. And, I mean, as you can see, vision, I mean, select his unit. Vision, he sees everything over here. So, put those tanks over there, and he can just pretty much see everything coming on the bottom. And he's in a good position to set up a 4th base over. Actually, it'll be his 5th base because he's got a 4th over here, but not yet. The annoying burrowed Zergling. The Zergling taking a nap is the MVP over here on the left side, blocking this command center. So a medevac drop on the left side. At the same time, we have Select pushing forward, forcing a fungal, trying to take out some creep tumors, but that's going to be a full-time job taking out the creep tumors from the Zenio this whole game. Here we go. Is he going to go for it? No. Nah, he's going to pull back. But a couple of Zerglings dying there. Let's check the upgrades for the Zerglings while we're at it. 2 armor upgrades. And the mech, does it have its first armor upgrade? Yes, it does. And we have a drop over here in the top left. It's going to start to take out some Spine Crawlers, but Zenio's put up a nice amount of defense over here. They're going to work on those Spine Crawlers, but at the same time over here on the right, tanks are sieged up, and they're doing so much damage. Zenio loses a big section of his army. Marines up there at the top still just whittling away on some Spore Crawlers, Spine Crawlers, just delaying this as long as possible with all these Spine Crawlers. And now Zergling's going to show up and clean up the rest of that. Back over here on the right side, a couple of Marines being pulled forward, forcing those fungals, and this poor drone... There he gets taken out. I was like, how is he not dead yet? Scans once again, and Select has to be thinking, Jesus, where are all these creep tumors coming from? Some Queens have been busy, and just more creep tumors across the middle of the map, but Select is just pushing his way across the map here with these tanks, and nice spreading. He's going to have 2-2 is done, but 3-3 is about halfway done here for Zenio, and he's going to need those, but he has got Broodlords. Oh, Broodlords. He's got 7 Broodlords out, and the tanks are forced to fall back already. At the same time, we have attack over here on the left. He managed to take out something. And back over on the right, Broodlords. Tanks getting picked off by Zerglings. And this is kind of just switched to Zenio's favor. He's got amazing tech. He's about to have 3-3. He's going to have an upgrade advantage. And, I mean, Select did a good job of pushing across the map there. It was very cost effective. You can look at the resources lost tab. Better there for Select. But these, I mean, it just bought enough time for Zenio to get his Broodlords out, and he doesn't have that many Vikings to deal with this. Just losing so many. He's got a lot of Marines, but there are just so many Broodlords at this point, and those little Broodlings are going to be 3-3 here very soon. And the Zergling's going to move in as soon as those tanks in siege to take out those tanks, and the 3 tanks are going to fall. That guy falls. Now it's just 2 medevacs, and there's no Vikings to be seen, and Zenio is really laying the smack down on Select at this point. It's going to be very, very hard for Select to get back in this game. He's going to have to do some amazing drop harass or something to do it. Speaking of drop harass, he's got 1 going over here to the right. He's going to be able to delay this base. And, but at the top, Broodlords just making it rain. Broodlords making it rain. Broodlings. And everything is going to die up here. I like this, this barracks reactor wall at the top. And over on the left, we've got Marines working on these Spine Crawlers. Once again, Zenio just constantly replacing these Spine Crawlers. He wants to keep this base alive. And the reason you put a lot of Spine Crawlers at maybe one of your furthest away bases is because you just don't want to have to force... You don't want to have to send your Zerglings back there to defend it if it's really far away. And the big fungals there on Select's army was not ready for this, not even sieged up. And he's forced to pull SCVs. This is just a matter of time until Select GG's, and because Zenio's just got him. He's all over him. I mean, they're Brood Lords outside your natural, killing everything. He's got 2 expansions, but the drops were not good enough, and Select is eventually just going to have to tap out here in a little bit. Even pulling up some queens. Zenio's got the queens up in there in the front. GG from Select, and Zenio's going to take game number 2. So we're going to be tied 1-1 between Select and Zenio, and I just like the Roaches, like I was talking about earlier in the game. I like the Roach play from Zenio, and the only thing I was kind of pointed out that he let Select kind of just have the map. He's like, all right, I got the army to get map control, but I'm going to let Select have map control anyway. That was an opportunity there where he could have applied more pressure, delayed that third even further, but he just delayed that Terran army for so long with this sheer amount of creep spread he had that he just got up to Broodlords before he even got any real number of infestors out, and just all that delaying of that push, just he was like, all right, you're at my base, but I've got 10 Broodlords, so you can leave now. All right, end of that game. Thank you guys for watching. Let's head on into game number 3, the last game of the series. Who will win, Select or Zenio? Let's find out.